Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian and this is the first of the CK3 Summer teasers. If you weren't aware, then let me just tell you that basically most of Paradox goes on vacation when it comes to the summer. It is one of those Swedish things, most people do it in Sweden, and that is why we get a little bit less content. But I will tell you, it felt bad to get very little content at the start of the year because we didn't really know what was happening behind the scenes. Now, we know that the Royal Court has all that culture stuff, all that artifact stuff, all that title stuff, all that 3D stuff, so I am honestly eagerly awaiting the return of the dev diaries, but I can very much live with these summer teasers. Now, I will tell you, I don't know whether I will cover these summer teasers every week. Let me know in the comments. They are fairly short, and my glasses are getting a bit foggy here. Now, the thing about this is basically that they give us some teasers, we can talk about them. I want to talk about them, but I might gather it, like, you know, in 2 weeks, for example. I will do one video on the last 2 teasers. We're going to take a look at that, how we're going to do that. At the end of the video, I will be talking on the topic of ModCon. So that is why I was very willing to just do this video rather than waiting out more summer teasers, for example. If you're interested in that, there will probably be a video chapter in this video where you can just jump to ModCon, or, you know, you can just skip it, whatever really floats your boat. Now, let's take a look at the actual dev diary, or rather summer teaser. As promised, here's the first of what we like to call summer teasers. These will be kept fairly small in scope while we enjoy our summer vacation. So these are cultural traditions that we will have access to when it comes to the update of the Royal Court. This is by the sword. Members of this culture believe that that the best missionary is one carrying a sword. While support for holy wars are widespread, motives are scrutinized as to make sure the divine powers would approve. No limit to the number of kingdom-level holy wars that can be declared by any of one ruler. Holy moly! See, I didn't actually read any of these before, and that is crazy good. That is so strong. Oh my god, that is the cultural equivalent of basically the warmonger tenet in CK3's religions. All casus belli that require a specific level of devotion require one less. Are you actually kidding me? That is so powerful, wow. All Scanian characters. Wait, is this actually... Are these... Wait, we got Scanians now? Scanians are in southern Sweden, right? Or Denmark, whatever you prefer. Diplomacy per level of devotion goes down, okay, so martial per level of devotion, monthly piety goes down, and different faith opinion goes down as well. So there are some drawbacks here, but that is incredibly powerful. If you want to take out basically everybody else, then become Scanian, I guess, and be either Danish or Swedish, whatever you prefer. Collective lands, here we go. The idea that individuals personally own land is alien to this culture, and land belongs to all people for the common good. Granting counties to commoners increases county control and makes them a peasant leader. Oh, that is pretty cool. That's such a different playstyle. Building construction time plus 20%, development growth plus 20%, and control growth minus 20%. So you are sort of incentivized to do it this way, because that makes it so that your control actually goes up. Otherwise, it will take you significantly longer. I wonder, because thinking about it, I don't think it's going to come with too, you know, deep of a gameplay change. This one at the very least. The other one above is just like, this is Holy War City right here. But this one, I mean, whether you put a peasant leader like a commoner or somebody that is already a noble in charge, I don't think it changes that much beyond the fact that maybe you want your own family in charge. Once you put a commoner in charge, they just become a noble anyway. If there was something special here, I think I would like it more. It's not bad, but, you know, I'm not feeling this one when it comes to the essence of the impact. I like the idea a lot with the peasant leader here, but I'm not entirely certain. Does the peasant leader trait have something that makes them more likely to rebel, for example? We'll talk about that when we get the update. Isolationist. The culture prefers to keep to itself and doesn't often look outside of its own sphere. So these are Sardinians. Up here we have Kamrupi. Let me just quickly Google this. So the Kamrupi are in the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent, so that is quite interesting to know. Let's talk about Sardinia. This culture prefers to keep to itself and doesn't often look outside. Right. Idle courtiers are less likely to become wanderers if their liege is of the same culture. Marriage acceptance towards other cultures minus 50. Very unlikely to arrange marriages outside of their own culture. That's interesting. That is something that I don't... Like, this one mostly just kind of takes away gameplay, if you will. You know, it just puts you in the position where it's like, hey, you know, you can't really interact with Sardinia except if you are hostile, or if you, I don't know, have a hook on somebody, one of them, for example. But I think that this is incredibly interesting for mods. I mean, just think about Elder Kings, for example. They can just go and make it so that all of a sudden, you know, certain cultures do not intermarry with other cultures regardless of religion, which is pretty cool. Cultural acceptance gain minus 35%. Diplomatic range minus 25. This is very much roleplay, I think. This makes it so that the Sardinians will always just be on their island and won't, for example, accommodate becoming a different culture. That should be a bit harder, and I really like that idea. So this is a neat roleplay one, in particular, I think, relevant for modders. Now, mystical ancestors. Lineage is very important to this culture, to the point where ancestors have become mythical and legendary beings, with many who claim to be their descendants. This is Rajput, so also India, cannot disinherit dynasty members. Holy crap. Man, these are actually, many of these are massively gameplay changing. Gain renown when granting titles to house members, lose piety when revoking titles from house members. Now, it is fair to say, making it so that you can't disinherit people, isn't that just restricting you, taking away a gameplay feature? And the answer is sort of yes, but I think in this one it balances out, because what we're looking at is a situation where you can't disinherit them, and you have to play around that. I think it's interesting to say, hey, for example, everybody, or many players that I know, go, oh, I got 3 sons, but only 1 kingdom, I want to keep it unified, I'm just going to kill these sons, I'm going to disinherit them. And I think that isn't really role-playing, because it puts you in a position where you go, oh yeah, I might be the father or mother of this person, but I hate them. I will destroy them. And that's not realistic. In the real world, sometimes parents are not very fond of their children, and vice versa. But when it comes to, these interactions where you have children, in many, many cases in the medieval world, the split of a kingdom wasn't a negative side effect from the parents' point of view. It was something that they wanted. They wanted the other children to also have something and then make their luck, happen in the world. So I think this is quite nice. It gives you a different gameplay feature. Certainly also interesting for mods, because what we need to realize is that the traditions are highly, highly moddable. So all of these modifiers can be moved, they can be turned around, they can be put into different traditions in different setups. I like that. I like that a lot. Stalwart defenders. These are Croatians. Defending that which is one's own is of paramount importance to this culture. What do we get here? Defensive war peace acceptance plus 10. Prestige from winning defensive wars plus 100%. Gold from winning defensive wars plus 100%. Wow. Yeah. This is a mega buff. I hope that it makes it so that the Croatians can hold themselves a while longer, which doesn't necessarily always happen, but this is, wow. Yeah, the defender advantage, the garrison size, that's some good stuff right there. Staunch traditionalists. Tradition is tradition, it is immovable and unchangeable. We must be ready and willing to stand up for what makes us who we are. The stubborn trait is more common. I like that. You can actually add traits to be more common in the features of the characters of this culture. Convert to local culture decision costs plus 300%, because being accepted is obviously harder. Creating a hybrid culture requires 100% more cultural acceptance. It is also much harder to hybridize with this culture. Control territory defender, okay. Man, with the faith modifiers that you already get in the Baltics, this is going to be wild. Actually taking the Baltics now will be crazy. Control growth goes up and cultural fascination progress goes down. Of course, they are set in their ways. That is really interesting. Honestly, I like really everything that we see here. I'm very excited for this sort of stuff. I will be telling you right up, and this is something that isn't really a secret. I think this culture rework is amazing for stuff like Elder Kings, Game of Thrones after the end. There is so much content in here. I really wonder what Elder Kings is going to make happen with this sort of stuff. Now, let's talk about ModCon for a second. I want to say thank you. We did that at the end of the ModCon stream already. If you didn't watch it, then the links will be in the description. They are the full streams, but they have chapters. So if you click on the timeline at the bottom of the video, you will get a chapter selection, and you can just watch what you want to watch. For example, the main events, be it Game of Thrones, be it Sinews of War, be it CMH, be it whatever you want to watch. That sort of stuff will be in the description. You can watch it. It was a lot of work and a lot of fun, and I think it was totally worth it. I basically have this huge document that says, hey, I could do this better and I could do that better. So that is why we started joking towards the end of ModCon that this was the worst ModCon that has ever happened, because the next one will surely be much, much better. But even with that in mind, I'm really, really happy. I was so happy to see the community really engaged with it. I saw the modders be really engaged with it. I mean, again, all of these panels, all of these main events were modder suggestions. They said we want to do this, and I did tell them there's a chance that for some events I will say we can't do this, but all of them were modder driven. I did a lot of organizational work. I designed the website, so the website itself has like this theme building thing. I did that. I can't code, so I didn't code anything, but basically I put a lot of organizational work, I put a lot of editing work, and of course I hosted it in. But I really want to say thank you to all the mods and modders that participated. I want to say thank you to all of the people that were watching, that were donating. We raised an incredible amount. of 2,077 euros for Autismus Mittelfranken. I will pledge another 500 to that, so 2,577, and then I'll just round it up. I'll pay that extra for 2,600 euros that we can donate. I already, funny background story, I guess. When you have a PayPal account, and you just use it to pay for, I don't know, subscriptions and for purchases on Amazon, that sort of stuff, PayPal might get a bit suspicious if you receive 2,000 bucks out of nowhere. I already settled that. PayPal is happy, everything is fine, they understand, and so that money is basically already secured. I can then hand it in. I already called with Autismus Mittelfranken as well. They were, of course, blown away. They weren't really aware we were doing this. They weren't really aware that 2,600 euro would come their way. Very, very exciting. There will be we can specify that once we get to it, but there will be some specific things that this money basically can finance for the work that Autismus Mittelfranken does. And again, I really want to thank everybody that donated, that helped here, not just in the organization, but also in making the fundraising a success. Very, very exciting to see. Now, I will be purchasing a novelty check, one of those big novelty checks. I'll go there in my suit, and then, you know, we'll do a quick little photo shoot. And I hope to see the facilities in particular. I would like to be able to basically tell you exactly where it went and what happened with the money. And then we have that done. Honestly, I'm more than eager, not just because it was fun to organize the event, to give spotlights to some mods, you know, that usually you go on the Steam page and once you get off the front page, you're just lost in the ether. So this was definitely something that I had a lot of fun with. I mean, we saw the reveal of King's Landing, of the Wall. We saw the reveal of so much of the map of Elder Kings, of so much of... We saw the Imperial City. We saw so many mechanics for After the End explained. Incredibly exciting. So many other mods, of course. Again, the entire CMH package. We had the Witcher Kings announced. There's so much in there. Seriously, check out the streams if you haven't seen it. We saw so many panels that explained what sort of work goes into these mods that we enjoy so much. I am eager next year to do another ModCon CK3. Hopefully yet again a charitable stream. That was a big plus. It was very motivating basically to sit down and work on that. And yeah, that is my angle on ModCon. If you got any questions on ModCon, let me know in the comments. I know that one of the questions that I have heard was basically, will there be ModCons for other games? And the answer is, I don't know. And what I mean when I say that is that Victoria 3 I'd be willing to do myself, because I love Victoria as a series, and I would love to see the mods develop. Of course, it takes time after Victoria releases. There, you know, give it like 9 months, maybe a year, and then you can take a look at the mods. For CK3, I definitely want to do it again. For everything else, it's just like, I kind of don't play EU4, you know, Heuforst. I mean, I play Stellaris, to be fair, but you know where I'm coming from, right? If there is any content creator that is interested in this, if you are interested in any other content creator hosting this, let them know that I'm willing to assist in whichever way I can, and we'll get it done. But for the moment, this was ModCon CK3, was a lot of fun, was a huge success for, I think, the mods and for the charity. I'm really, really happy about it, and honestly, it's been a blast, because this was the single biggest thing that I've ever done on this channel in terms of, you know, the impact that I have had, and it just feels good. I'll just say it outright. It just feels good to look back and say, hey, we did something there. You know, we achieved something. That is excellent for the feeling that you get when you do this job, when you do these sort of coverings. Now, I will tell you that I will be back with normal videos. First off is Shogunate. We will be back with normal videos tomorrow. I think there will be no further Victoria 3 Dev Diaries until August, so that will be gone. But I got so many videos planned. Man, I had to put so many videos on hold just because I was working on ModCon. You see, another anecdote while we're here, right? I actually had my first vaccine shot on Sunday before the last day of the stream. I was in a hurry. Basically, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and even Thursday and Wednesday, I was working from 5 AM to 10 PM when the stream ended. I was exhausted, but the vaccine shot went well. I feel excellent, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and I think this is actually it from my side now. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling. ModCon was a great success, was a lot of fun. We're gonna do it again, just you see. And yeah, thank you all for watching, donating, for working with me on it. And with that being said, as always, I would like to thank the members of the channel, namely the Barons, the Counts, and the Dukes. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate it. Later, alligator.